Hey, everybody, welcome to the Elseworlds Exchange. I'm Sal.
And I'm Joel.
So, The Suicide Squad is a movie that is coming, and,
Yes.
Much to the surprise of everybody, it was made, it's coming out soon, and it, like you said, off mic, an opportunity for, a creator to get another bite at the apple, so to speak. Gets let off the leash and tells this crazy-ass story, gives us, hopefully, a halfway decent Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, so far, everything looks like it's firing on all the proper cylinders. I mean, come on, Ostrander is in the movie, which means that Gunn knows the material and knows what the best stories are from.
It's true. It's true. Comes out August 6th in the United States. Hopefully sooner or, whatever for everybody else.
Yeah, on your app screens and in theaters, too.
Nice. Yes. Well, that'll be fantastic because I have HBO Max, and I saw Black Widow at home, and I probably will watch this at home as well.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
So we thought it'd be kind of fun to create our own Suicide Squads, which, why not? The fact is there's so much from Suicide Squad. You can do anything.
It's just such a wicked concept.
Yeah, exactly. Now, when I was developing mine, I had a really hard time not just doing Secret Six.
I know, right? It's very hard. It's like, let me take a bunch of lovable underdog characters, force them together, and, plumb new and interesting depths with them. Because, yeah, that Secret Six, that's not always the Suicide Squad, though. The Suicide Squad is honestly a lot of the time a little bit more mean-spirited, and that is, let's take a bunch of loser villains, throw them into the line of fire, have them die, and maybe only Deadshot or Captain Boomerang will stick around because they're the most constant recurring members.
Exactly. So there are I assume that you have a couple of prerequisites or a couple of provisos to establish what a Suicide Squad is.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. It's like
what makes a Suicide Squad?
A group of villains, normally not A-tier villains. Like, no Lex Luthors, no Jokers. They need to be lower tier. They need to be villains that if they went missing, no one would give a shit.
Exactly. No one would ask questions.
That's the whole point of it. Beyond that, I actually challenged myself to completely flip the genre on this one, which is something I don't think anyone has ever done before. Usually the whole deal with the Suicide Squad is they work for Amanda Waller, who works for nebulous forces within the government. They never actually straight out and say like, oh, she answers to the president or she answers to the Secretary of Defense. Because, we don't want to be pointing fingers, but usually that's where it goes. My thing was I wanted to actually blow up that concept because sometimes they do. There was a brief period there where the squad worked for themselves and they were kind of like the A-team for a little bit.
Right. Okay.
In the Ostrander run, I didn't want to do that, but I did something kind of similar that I think everyone might enjoy.
Awesome, great, because this is okay. Yeah, sell us your premise. What is the Suicide Squad?
So I call my pitch the Deadly Suicide Squad. I was going to call it Suicide Squad Dark, but I thought that was a little too obvious. And essentially, what it is. I'm taking the whole political thriller action movie thing. It's not that anymore. It's a paranormal action thriller now is what it is. I am also removing Amanda Waller and Belle Rev, which I'm sure people are like, but Joel, you love those things.
You do.
I do love those things, and that's why I'm challenging myself here. The Deadly Suicide Squad is going to be a paranormal book, and instead of Amanda Waller, what we're going to have is the Phantom Stranger is going to be the one holding this team together. The idea being that the Deadly Suicide Squad has 7 members, all representative of the 7 deadly sins.
Right.
One day these villains wake up, they have marks on their hand, which is like ancient Sumerian for lust, greed, wrath, whatever. And the idea is that the Phantom Stranger has gotten into another cosmic dick measuring contest with the Spectre.
Yep.
And the Spectre's like, I'm going to fucking end the world. I'm so crazy. I'm God's wrath. And the Stranger's like, no, don't do it. What if I could go out of my way to save the souls of 7 of the worst sinners ever? What if I could take these villains and turn them into heroes? The idea being that the Suicide Squad on paper has always kind of been about redemption. Waller being like, oh, work for me, take time off your sentence, and maybe start a new life. Yes. But that's always bullshit.
It's never that case. Yeah, she knows you're not going to, even if you were like one day away, she'd make sure you died on that day.
Absolutely. She'll never let you go. That's always the undercurrent of it. I'm like, well, let's actually take that redemption concept and put it in the hands of someone who might want to actually see people succeed. And so I figure let's make this like a moral battle between Phantom Stranger and the Spectre, where it's like, okay, but I get to pick your guys is the thing, and I'm picking some of the absolute worst.
I love it. That's great. That's very much the challenge between God and the devil.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's that bargain.
Yeah, have these guys prove to me
with the Suicide Squad.
Absolutely. Which, hey, if you've been reading Immortal Hulk recently, the story of Job is really good for comics.
Totally. So well, all right. Well, who leads this plucky team?
All right. So again, everyone is representative of one of the 7 deadly sins. I started with envy.
Okay.
Which is one of those sins where it's like, no, that's not really the most cinematic one. But I thought that there's a perfectly envious villain who people still love despite their diminishing returns and who's really good to throw on the cover of something. I'm talking about Tommy Elliott Hush.
Yes.
And he is envy because he envies Bruce Wayne so much. His entire deal is based around envy.
It's true. Yeah, no, this dude is all about that. I love the concept because, yeah, every villain has some level of envy of their hero, but Hush is defined by his desire to be or supplant Bruce Wayne.
Totally obsessed with it. He's also a master planner, pretty good with guns, so he kind of fills the Deadshot role as well. And he's a good chameleon, too. He can change his face. He can change other people's faces. He's pretty good if you're doing, like, Black Ops missions and everything.
That's true. That's true. He's got it all. He can keep the team action-oriented while also being, like, a master strategist.
And I figure too, he's wealthy, right? He's a rich guy, so he would probably bankroll the team in some way. And I figured, what should their base of operations be? Because we won't have Belle Rev anymore.
No,
maybe it should be the Elliott estate. Maybe it's all like broken down and shit, but he still owns it. And they're like, well, won't Batman think to look for you here? No, he won't think to look for me at my own house.
Right, exactly. That's too obvious.
I'm hiding in plain sight because that way you kind of get to like turn the whole Wayne Manor Batcave thing like on its head. Maybe instead of meeting in the basement, they meet in like the attic. There's like the creepy ass attic he used to play in as a child. That's where they meet.
There we go.
So yeah, that's Agent Envy, and that's the thing.
Okay.
They all have their little call signs and everything, and they know when the Phantom Stranger needs them for a mission because their hands start glowing. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's actually that's a thing that exists in DC Comics already because I believe Neron has a whole deal with the devil, more or less.
That's right.
Where he hand selects the worst of the worst, but I think he gives them a glowing candle, now that I'm remembering it properly.
Something like, I remember Vandal Savage had a thing like the Mark of Sin, but it was like on his face and the Spear of Destiny and everything. Which we can riff on that a bit.
Yeah, you could riff on that. You could also tie it in. DC loves their continuity sometimes. So
I mean, you'll need paranormal villains and threats for them to fight.
Absolutely.
So Neron and Vandal Savage actually seem pretty good for like first couple arcs for them to fight.
Seriously, that'd be kind of fun, actually. Yeah.
Because that's an issue, too, with Suicide Squad. As much as I love it, not everyone is ready to go to that Ostrander political thriller headspace of like, oh, we need to get detonation codes or we need to find a stockpile of weapons in Vietnam or something. That's hard to write every week.
It is. You got to be Tom Clancy. You got to have some kind of political thriller involved. And it's like, not only is it hard to do on a week-to-week or month-to-month basis, but also your average comic book fan maybe necessarily isn't interested in that kind of story.
It's true. And, I think the best Suicide Squad runs are the ones that work on 2 levels. There's the mission the team is sent on, and then there's whatever Waller is doing back at the base, usually some sort of skullduggery, backstabbing, blackmailing thing. Like sometimes she's the B story, but her story is more interesting.
Yeah, totally. Real quick, Patrick Lawson says, I wouldn't want a Suicide Squad, but a Planet Squad with Raze, Poison Ivy, and any others who want to save the planet at any cost. So like an evil or twisted Planeteers.
I like that. Ooh, you got to put Floronic Man on there. Yep. And you got to put, I guess you can put the Gardener there. She's new.
Yeah. Maybe you could get Mr. Bloom.
Oh, Mr. Bloom, who's coming back in something. Did you see that?
I did see that, and I was like, "What? Oh no!
Someone
Who asked for that?"
Someone remembered Mr. Bloom existed, and someone remembered Astrid Arkham, the Arkham Knight, existed too.
That's right. Car Eternal says, "Do we have enough nigh immortal characters to put together a team of them? They become the in hopes of finally being able to die."
Oh, I like that. Like a reverse Highlander. We want to die. We don't want to live forever.
Yes, the Suicidal Squad.
Oh shit, that's a backup right there. That's a good one.
Yeah. That being said, they did do. Well, Snyder put all the Immortals together.
He did
At the beginning of Dark Knight's Death or Dark Knight's Metal. So
yes, he did.
Yeah.
Even put his own vampire character in there for my vampire, which I appreciated.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
You know what it is? The thing with all those immortal characters is they're also massive narcissists, so they don't want to die.
No, they don't. But I do like the idea of them getting like world weary and tired and being like, let me just put my money where my mouth is. Maybe somebody like makes a Faustian bet with them where they're just kind of like, I bet you can't do any good with your power. Like you've been on this earth for like 1,000 years or more, and the earth is no better.
I like that.
You have no influence over this earth.
That's like that Superman episode where Vandal Savage is the only one alive at the end of time, and he's gone crazy because he's only had time to think about all the mistakes he's made.
That's right. Great episode. I think DeMatteis wrote that one.
I'm pretty sure he did. You know what you do? You make that what is it, like a Commandiate Earth End story where it's just like Raish and Vandal and all these other Wizard Shazam, and they're like, God, we hate being alive.
Why did I want to inherit the earth? And why did I
sucks?
How could I not remember that it was going to be populated with you assholes?
Yeah, tiger people and shit.
Yeah. So who else we got?
Okay, so we had Envy.
Yes.
The next in there, Pride. And for Pride, I decided to tap a character who I love very much and who also has a connection to the original Suicide Squad, which I thought was important. And that is Count Vertigo. He's a royal. He's very full of himself. He's very prideful. And naturally, because he was on an older version of the Suicide Squad, he becomes like the Lancer, and he becomes the guy who keeps butting heads with Hush, being like, I've been doing this longer than you. I'm used to being on more villainous teams.
Right, that's true. Yeah. I'm a deeper cut than you, Tommy.
Absolutely. And he's got a cool costume and a cool power set that I feel has never been fully explored, what you could do with Vertigo and fucking with someone's inner ear.
That's true. I can imagine a lot of dick measuring going on where it's like, yeah, Count, I'm a doctor.
Yeah, really. I went to school for it. I didn't inherit it like you, dickhead.
Exactly. Well, even though, Ellie, it's all about inheriting.
True enough. Also, I have this house. You don't have a country. You got deposed by a little girl, and your villain shoots arrows at you. Oh, that's funny, too, because he's a Green Arrow villain. He's a Batman villain. No, my guy sucks more. No, my guy sucks more.
That's right. Yeah. The last time I checked, both your guys are regular people, right? Who just throw things at you in some way. Either they fire them or just chuck them. That's
also,
pretty lame.
Vertigo's a blonde. Tommy Elliott's a redhead sometimes. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun to be had. And naturally, having Vertigo on the team means at some point this paranormal Suicide Squad is going to have to fight the OG team. And Vertigo is going to be caught between a rock and a hard place where it's like, who do I side with?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
And like maybe Waller's whispering in his ear and like maybe passing off information to her. And like that's his mission. He has a bomb in his head, but he's not letting it on that he has a bomb in his head.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see him playing a double agent game where it's like he lets Waller think that he's working for her. That's the big reveal, is that he's a turncoat, but like Phantom Stranger knows all, and Vertigo's like, this guy's actually offering me redemption, whereas you have only offered me oblivion.
And I get it would be the thing like, what do you want more? I can give you the keys to your country back, or save your soul so when you die, you go to heaven. What do you want more?
Right. Which kingdom would you rather inherit?
Oh, shit. That's a great line. Oh, my God. That's so good.
George J. says, hey, Joel, wasn't the Ice Boxer also Agent Envy for Capes and Crooks? Can't wait for the next episode.
This guy's paying attention. Yes, everyone. My Captain Cold stand-in for my supervillain RPG, the Ice Boxer, is also Agent Envy because their like League of Calamitous Intent is called the Original Sinners. And yes, they all take on a 7 deadly sin motif. I'm very big into this motif, if you can't.
Yes, I can see that. Well, it's on the brain. Tevia says, Telos, Harvest Kid, Amazo, John L, New 52 on a squad.
Wow, someone remembered Telos and Harvest. Holy shit.
Yeah, I feel like Telos is a little bit strong for that, but you know what? Go for it.
They're a little cosmic. You need to keep people in line. Then again, Phantom Stranger is pretty powerful, so he could maybe keep people in line. I mean, like, Knockout has been on the squad. I think Mongol Jr. has been on the squad at some point.
At least a couple of the Furies have been on the squad.
Which is crazy to think, but it's happened.
Yeah, it's true. So we got Envy, we got Pride.
Okay, so next up from this one, we have Gluttony. And Gluttony I had a lot of fun with because here's a character who never gets their day in the sun, which is such a shame because they're a cool design and have such a great history. Parasite.
Yes. Yeah, you never see anybody want to do a Parasite story unless they use it as an example of something. But yes, Parasite's a great representation of Gluttony and a great character that you can also kill and no one would really care.
Absolutely. I would want Parasite to basically be the bane of this like team where he's like, oh, you know, I used to be great. I used to be a top tier Superman villain, but like no one's written anything good with me in 2 decades.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Parasite.
And like he feels ugly and everything. So like, you know, we'd put him in a trench coat and a fedora and everything. And he's just like walking around the mansion. Maybe like do a like very Gail Simone thing where it's like, oh, I always eat my feelings is the thing. It's my addiction. I'm in Overeaters Anonymous.
Yeah, there we go. I love it. I love that use of him for Gluttony. That's brilliant.
Like, he's the one guy who really hates that that's the sin that he represents. Like, oh, Gluttony. Yeah, that's old Parasite. All right, shit.
No. I'm a Superman villain. I should be cool.
Yeah, he's the guy who wants to change is the thing. The other guys you don't know, but he's the one guy who actively makes an attempt to change.
I like that. I like that.
And maybe you got like a blue collar, white collar thing with him and Hush. It's like, I was a janitor who got exposed to goo.
Oh, not goo.
Yeah, and you're a count and you're a rich guy. We really don't see eye to eye on it. You guys haven't worked a hard day in your life, have you?
Yeah, none of you have ever had to apply for a job.
Hey, Parasite, how about you do your job and sweep up?
Oh,
okay. But I'm doing it because I want to, not because you told me to.
Sure, Parasite. Sure. All right, who else we got?
All right, so we had 3 dudes on the team. I wanted to keep it nice and balanced. So the next 3 are ladies. Next up from there, we have Lust. And I think when it comes to casting a lustful supervillainess, it's way too easy to pick Poison Ivy, but I think she's too powerful.
I agree.
She's an elemental god, for Christ's sake. You can't put a bomb in her head and expect her to follow, because she just won't.
Yeah, that being said, though, if you did use Phantom Stranger, like maybe there's like a higher calling, but I could also imagine Poison Ivy would be interesting only in as much as you pit the forces of heaven versus the forces of earth. That kind of like, what has God ever done for the planet kind of thing?
Very Todd McFarlane Spawn, Mother Nature trumps everything.
Yes. I remember when that happened in Spawn, where it was the forces of heaven and hell, and then Earth gets involved, and I'm like, what?
which is very interesting from Todd McFarlane, where it's like, no, I'm really deep down, conservationist at heart, you see. We should save the planet, or else the planet will kick our ass.
I can't argue with that, Todd.
No, can't really. But I thought it would actually be interesting to take a villainess who was on the squad for like a minute and was a cool addition, but they did nothing with because, she had a movie and other stuff they wanted to prep for. Cheetah.
Yeah. Cheetah's a great representation of that as well.
Cool addition to any team. It would be the Barbara Ann Minerva version. And it's like, well, why does she represent lust? Well, if you remember, the only reason she became a cheetah monster is because the ritual that was supposed to, bind her to whatever got messed up because she was not a virgin.
That's right. Oh, I like that.
So she's really pissy about that naturally. Like, God, seriously, Phantom
I can't live this down.
Yeah, that's why she would be really mad about that. And she's just like, fine, I guess if it'll wipe this off my goddamn, conscience and everything else, I guess I'll join your stupid team.
Yeah, I love that. That's so funny. I only wanted to wait until that happened because Sean Conwell mentioned Cheetah as well.
Nice.
He wanted to see Cheetah, Manta, Bane, Killer Frost, Enchantress, King Shark, and Simon.
Oh, that's a pretty balanced team. And funny, you should mention Killer Frost. Because I put her on my team too. I made her Wrath, which again I could have picked like a big dumb strong guy to be Wrath. I could have picked Solomon Grundy. I could have picked Amygdala. But I'm like, no, Killer Frost is more interesting too because A, she has a reason to be mad, and B, she has killer in her name, so that makes a lot of sense. There was also a weird time there in DC not that long ago, and I'm sure you'll remember, Sal, when Killer Frost got a massive push.
Yes, they were really big into Killer Frost. She was everywhere. I think that she was in that Justice League Suicide Squad book that Williamson wrote.
She was the main character of that. She went through the most like change and like character arc in that. And she was a good guy at the end of that. She was on the Justice United
League of America.
Yeah, she was on. For a minute.
Batman's team. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, to coincide with the TV. It was the CW equivalent Justice League book is what it was. And it's a shame that they just stopped with that. I'm like, no, you guys were doing a lot of really good work with her. You shouldn't have stopped.
Yeah, you didn't buy it.
Yeah, you could have had another AAA female character. You guys give up too easily in the comic industry.
This is true. And they don't give enough time. Like the thing is, you gotta wait. You know, you can't just drop a book and then expect it to be the overnight success that like happened in the 90s. You don't have like the push of the speculators market and also the fervent desires of like 12-year-old like kids.
True enough. I imagine she'd be the the science person on the team too, because she's a doctor, Dr. Caitlin Snow, and it's funny to have the angry one also be the smart one.
Exactly. No, and you get some great rich funds out of that as well.
Yeah, she'd be like, "Get the hell out of my lab before I freeze you all to death."
Right. Mr. Roboto, can my Suicide Squad be all John Cena or wrestlers?
I think it should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see MacGruber? His Suicide Squad was all wrestlers, and then they all literally died, and that was the joke.
Okay. No, I did not. I did not see MacGruber. King Sport Cal says Mothman, King Tut, Ambush Bug, Heckler, and Mr. Orr. Nice. Good pulls all around. I love that.
You know what those should be? Those should be the guys who were on the Suicide Squad, did what they were supposed to do, and Waller actually did release.
Yes, I love that idea of just a team that actually got away with it.
Again, they've never done that before, and I think that would be so smart, where Waller calls in basically her tournament of champions.
Yeah.
Where it's like, look, you all made it out. You all followed orders and everything, but I kept the bombs in your brain, though, just in case.
Just in case. Just you know. Somber Shadow 001 says, my Suicide Squad would have Dr. Aesop, Flamingo, White Rabbit, Crazy Quilt, and Calculator.
Ooh, fabulous. I like Flamingo. Yeah, they need to put Flamingo on more things. He's just a fun design.
Him. Yeah, it's true.
Very fun.
George J. A while back, I put General Immortus Wrath and Ding Dong Daddy
Ding Dong Daddy. Oh,
nice.
Good.
Good pull.
Get the crazy 60s version, Ding Dong Daddy, Mad Mod.
Yes. So who else we got? Besides, we got Wrath. She's great.
Of course, we got Lust there. My final pick for the team would, of course, be Greed. And I had a lot of fun with this one. When I was making a more traditional Suicide Squad team, this lady was always high on top because I thought she's a great design, great villain, who doesn't get used enough, but is actually starting to make a comeback now in the backgrounds of things because I think Joshua Williamson is a fan. Maybe. Lady Vic.
Yes, Lady Vic. Never get to see her.
No, the old Nightwing villain. She's basically a female Deathstroke is what she is.
Exactly. By the way, when I was thinking about like getting some assassins, I was like, oh man, do we get Ravager? And I'm like, nah, she's too cool.
She's too cool now. She's in too many things. Vic, again, is so primed for kind of a comeback. Great design. She's British, got swords, got guns. Very cool. I don't know why they don't use her more.
I don't know. Well, the design's a little complicated. Usually it takes a lot of time to like reestablish a character. If people are going to do that, they might as well create their own character.
True.
So I can imagine that just the politics of making comics makes her suffer for it.
You know what I think it is too? I think every time someone starts to be like, hey, I'm going to use Lady Vic in this story, I'd like, could you use Deathstroke though?
Right.
It's basically the same thing. Can you just use it? We really like to put Deathstroke in things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing where it's like, why are you pushing Deathstroke so hard? Like, you don't make a dime off of him. I don't understand. It's not like you get any extra money for using him. You could use any character.
It's true. The last full story where Lady Vic was a villain was not a Nightwing story. It was a Batwing story. Jimmy Palmiotti drug her out of obscurity for a second. And the idea is that Luke had never fought like a professional assassin like this before, and she took him the fuck apart very easily. Where it's like, ooh, you have armor. I'm a professional, Dick. I fight guys in armor all the time.
I like that. That's awesome.
And, she would represent Greed, so while the rest of them are all trying to, save their soul, she's trying to make a little money on the back end any way she can.
Of course. And so this would basically just be, so it's the representation of the 7 deadly sins. They're going on a holy crusade.
Yeah.
That's actually a really cool idea, and I love the idea of like the Phantom Stranger being
their boss.
the kind of their boss, like their Amanda Waller, because he's pretty unscrupulous, and I like the reveal that he's like doing a Jobian bet with the Spectre for their souls. I like
and once they
Spectre
find that out,
them.
they'd be pissed at him.
Oh yeah, naturally. And they're called the Deadly Suicide Squad. Was that the idea?
The Deadly Suicide Squad or Suicide Squad Dark. Then again, you could also call it Suicide Squad Sin, so you have 3 S's.
Man, what a Sophie's choice.
They're all winners.
Yeah.
No low cards in this deck.
That's right. I love that. That's such a great idea. So I could see why you were excited for this topic, just to pitch this dope ass otherworldly. You know who would love this? Grant friggin' Morrison would love it.
I feel so too. And it's funny. I'd been sitting on this for a bit because I knew we were going to do a roster build for the Suicide Squad movie at some point, probably. To think that I thought of this, and then just recently they're like, oh, Task Force Z, they're going to be fighting zombies. I'm like, damn it, that's kind of close to what I had.
That's still distinct. There's still plenty of time.
Something in the water. Also, too, that one has Red Hood on it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of different. That's more of a heroic fighting monsters thing. Mine's still very much staying true to the Suicide Squad villains looking for redemption.
This is true. I went a very different route, and I'm very glad because I want it to be distinct enough to be like completely different ideas that all of us can reap the whirlwind for it.
No doubt.
What was it? Before I do that, though, Kevin Kruger mentioned with Belle Reeve and Swamp Thing in Terabonne Parish. Can you see Waller taking Abby to make him work for her?
Oh, shit. Well, the next Suicide Squad arc from Robbie Thompson, they are actually going to be going after the new Swamp Thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not the Holland version. It's the new guy. I haven't been reading Randy's book, but there's a new guy right now, apparently.
Yes, the Swamp Thing.
The.
So just as a quick aside, just because I was kind of on this kick of like older stuff, kind of like being new again.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they keep pushing Grifter and that the implication is the Wildcats are coming back. I was like, well, but is to resurrect a team I hate, DV8.
Oh, shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not familiar with DV8, it's basically the anti-Gen 13. It's a group of Gen active characters who are also monster bastards. They're just the worst possible characters in the world. I remember reading this because I thought, like, oh man, more Gen 13. And like, they were so reprehensible. And wouldn't you know it, Warren Ellis wrote all those issues. But I couldn't believe how miserable and atrocious and wretched these characters were, and how hard Wildstorm / Image was pushing them. And I was just like, man, what a great Suicide Squad, though.
The template is there. I mean, that last Tom Taylor run that everyone loved so much was, hey, it's Suicide Squad. Well, okay, it's a couple members from the Suicide Squad, but it's mostly these new revolutionary guys I'm working with, but you won't be able to tell the difference.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
You basically do that. In issue 1, most of the squad gets murked, and Waller gets desperate, and she's like, okay, time to activate Project DV8.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the potential alone of introducing or reintroducing Ivana from, oh God, what the hell was the program called? I don't remember, but like Ivana was kind of the like evil female Lynch to DV8, and she was in charge of whatever Miles Craven's whole organization was called. But the point is, she's a fun, like, anti-Amanda Waller.
Right.
Like, she's obsessed with her looks. She's incredibly, like, you know, she looks like a supermodel.
I like that
she's
a lot.
Like, she also has, like, biomechanical augmentation, so she can become, like, this kind of, like, crazy thing. Anyway, DV8. That's my just very quick and dirty. Just make DV8 the Suicide Squad.
That's good. You know what you do? You retcon it and say Waller and that lady were actually Ivana were like sorority sisters back in the day.
I love it. Or like just they hated each other, but they pretended to be friends. They were like that kind of a dynamic where they're like, oh my God, Amanda.
So happy to see you. You look great.
You look amazing. Have you lost weight?
Ooh.
You know I haven't.
Oh, that's really, I like that a whole lot. And yet she's forced to work with them, you know, because they're government paymasters. And naturally, Waller being Waller is trying to find a way to screw her over and do something out of a back room.
Yeah, well, I love the idea of like Waller, like, you know, maybe Ivana has DV8. Waller makes them Suicide Squad. Now they're mine. Like, oh no, I'm sorry, Task Force X falls under my jurisdiction
now.
now. So good luck.
And so it's really a story about Waller fighting to try and get her team back, as we see Waller in suburbia being like, well, I don't have a job. What am I if I don't have a squad to run?
Yeah.
This is hell to me. I thought I wanted to get rid of it, but it's how I've defined myself for so long.
Completely.
See, there's a good story.
Yeah. Mr. Roboto, Grodd, Ultra Humanite, Boss Gorilla, Grundy, and Cheetah. Just animals.
The Animal Squad. That's a fun pitch too, actually. It's like the Savage Six of Suicide Squad.
That's right. Jimmy Jonathan Lee have both Secret Six and Suicide Squad consolidate together to hunt down Amanda Waller. Because, come on, Waller's a villain. Also, get rid of Harley.
They kind of did that in the New 52 with King Shrek. That basically was them trying to split the difference between Secret Six and Suicide Squad, and it didn't really work.
Fred wants to know who a sloth was.
Oh, Sloth. Did I forget Sloth? Did I forget a lazy one? I did too. Shit, I totally forgot one of my 7 deadly sins.
No.
Okay, well, now we get to do there. Who's a really lazy supervillain?
Oh, man.
Who's the Teen Titans guy, the villain who does gadgets? Is he literally called Gadget?
I don't know. I think so.
He's got like a walker and everything because he gets technology to do everything for him. He's their gadget man.
Oh, that guy. The guy from the Harley Quinn cartoon?
Well, I mean, he was in that and he was in the Teen Titans cartoon as well.
Oh, yeah.
Gizmo. Yeah, Gizmo. Gizmo was the one.
Perfect. There you go. Gizmo.
He's just a little freaky guy in like a robot machine that does all his walking and everything else for him.
Perfect. There you go. That's Sloth. Gizmo.
And there, because you need a funny little weirdo on the team. Everyone else is too beautiful of people. We need a funny weirdo.
Exactly. Okay, yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about now. I liked him on the Titans cartoon.
Yeah, I think that was the best one that ever used him.
Yeah.
He's one of the Hive guys.
Yeah, but he does not look like that in the comic books.
So. No, he doesn't. They really went crazy and redesigned it. But hey, if Red X can be part of the universe, we can canonize this version.
Yeah, but here's Gizmo.
There we go. Yeah, just a little freaky weirdo.
Yep. I hate him already.
Exactly, as you should.
Yeah, what was I gonna say? Dylan Wheeler says, doing this to support more pitch episodes and more Sal and Joel. I'd love to hear an episode with pitches for D-list DC, like Ambush Bug and Aryan and Creeper. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, feels like they tried to take a couple swings at Creeper and nothing ever stuck.
Yeah, they keep trying Creeper and it just doesn't work. He's just not interesting enough. Like,
he's a very cool design.
Yeah. Kind of.
Deceased Unkillables used him the best when he was just the weirdo Deadpool guy making fun of everyone else.
Yeah, believe it or not, that like making him a Deadpool character actually worked out for his character.
That's the problem. All those other pitches were way too serious. He needs to be a comedy character.
Yes.
He needs to know he's in a comic book. He needs to break the fourth wall.
Totally. And Dennis Bell says, surprised there isn't or hasn't been a multiversal Suicide Squad.
Oh, you haven't been reading the new Robbie Thompson book, clearly, because that's what Bloodsport's deal is.
Oh, he's from another Earth?
He gets sent to others. He's the secret member of Waller's new squad. And oh, look, my costume that lets me transverse the multiverse. It's just my new Idris Elba movie costume.
What? That's incredible.
It's a really clever pitch.
Yeah, that's actually really smart of him.
It's such a smart idea. They send him to Earth 3 because Waller's like, get me an evil Superman. Get me some of these evil leaguers. And Bloodsport's like, are you fucking crazy? Yes.
Yes. I had a bunch of ideas. I had this initial plan of taking. I really wanted to go with like a kind of forgotten / desperately insisted upon team.
I like
where
it.
It's character, because DC over the years constantly like gives you characters that you never asked for.
They have a lot of them,
and I wanted to tie it in with the events from which they were sprung, but I ran out and I didn't want to make it just a really packed up like 2 events and that's all the team.
Right.
So kind of just it goes off the rails a little bit, but I think there's something there where it's like it's a bunch of characters from like forgotten DC Comics events where they created characters for you to like, but ended up not liking.
So like Pandora and Forerunner and everything.
Yes, exactly. And
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, and I think Pandora's got to be on the team just because like that's such a great idea. I don't know if she's still alive after the events of Death Metal.
Nope. Dr. Manhattan blinked her out of existence and we never saw her again.
No, but that happened. Yeah, but that happened before Death Metal.
Oh, that's right, because everything is reset now because of Infinite Frontier and the dead walk yet again.
Exactly. It's an Infinite Frontier, ladies and gentlemen, so don't worry. Pandora's back, and she is heading up this stupid Suicide Squad.
Team of losers.
And that's the thing, it's like no one asked for her, and no one asked for this, so here you go.
Joker's daughter has to be on that team.
Hey, Joker's daughter. There's a character that no one fucking asked for.
Who was on the Suicide Squad during like what is it, the Ryan something or other years, and the joke was that she's on the team with Harley, and Harley hates her for being a stupid character.
Exactly.
And Harley beats the shit out of her, and we never see her again.
Yeah, because good. But yeah, Pandora. That's canon. She's on my team.
Telos can be on this team too, or
no, Telos is too friggin' powerful. He could be.
Well, who did he end up being? Because Telos wasn't actually Telos. He was another guy from an older DC.
Yeah, he was Arak. But like even then, it's kind of a barbarian. So it's like, what?
Well, who doesn't want a Conan on their team? Yeah. It's working for Savage Avengers.
That's true. So my team essentially, I put together a group of people that no one asked for that has like an opportunity to kind of redeem themselves, or maybe people did like, but not enough to sell their book. Characters like Damage.
Oh, shit. All right. Yeah, you know what? Eric, get the fuck out of here. It's Damage time.
Damage is the bruiser. Damage is the heavy hitter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sold already.
Right? You got Damage from Dark Knight's Metal. The Dark Matter universe? I think that's the idea. It was a new age, the Dark Age. I don't remember what the hell they called it.
It was the Dark Matter. Didn't last 2 years.
No. And people are like, man, what about Sideways? And I'm like, no, Sideways you could actually redeem. Don't shunt Sideways into a book where he could die.
You put Sideways on your Teen Titans team, I remember.
Exactly. Put Sideways over there. Kill Damage, or have Damage constantly, in peril. Mm-hmm. So right now we got Pandora and we have Damage. There's another character who came about due to it's a character that has been previously established for a good long time, but in 2 separate events, they could not square the circle of their villain, and so they made this guy the villain. I'm talking about Hawk from Hawk.
Oh shit! Yeah, wow.
Because Hawk is not just Hawk. Hawk is also Extant from 0 Hour
and Monarch
from Armageddon 2001.
Oh my god, the complicated history of Hawk. Holy shit. Such a loser character, so complicated.
Such a complete loser. But the fact is, like, Hawk has something to prove.
Yes, he does. And Joshua Williamson remembers Extant.
He sure does, and he wants you to remember too. So with Josh kind of like being at the helm, I like the idea of there being an opportunity for Hawk to kind of like be on this team, and he's like, I held time in my hand. I manipulated the events of the DC universe. I also fought with Dove. Like I'm a multifaceted character. Please help me.
You know what that is too, because he's like supposed to be the embodiment of like right-wing America, while Doug is like left-wing America. Yeah, they kicked me off Twitter and Parler won't accept me, so I guess I'm on this team now.
Right. So now I'm on the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay, Hawk.
I like that pitch a whole lot. There's got to be so many other like loser characters from events we're not thinking of.
There are lots of loser characters from events that we're not thinking of. For example, there's a character. He's not from an event, but he is a character that no one remembers or uses. They remember him, but because the people who make the Arrow TV show hate Kevin Smith, they refuse to put him on and make him part of the cultural consciousness. I'm thinking onomatopoeia.
Yeah, anything that's Green Arrow related is going to tug my heartstrings.
Yes, onomatopoeia, fun idea, and also a great opportunity to stick him on a Suicide Squad. Seeing him play off of other characters.
Yes, please.
Like other villains, I should say.
He's so great. He's so great for a thing like this, and he could play like the Deadshot Rick Flag role. Like, I'm good with guns.
Yes, that's right. I'm good with any gun, like anything.
Did you read that Green Arrow 80th anniversary?
I did not yet, but I did buy it.
There's a great story that is written and drawn by Phil Hester, and Onomatopoeia is there.
That's awesome. Hooray. I wanted to put a plant-based character. I thought because he kind of gained prevalence thanks to the Millennium DC Comics event, I went with the Floronic Man.
Hey, who's had a bit of a resurgence because in Justice League Dark he became Swamp Thing for a minute.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did for a minute. But yeah, Floronic Man. You know, he was a member of the New Guardians for a hot minute, and so has had experience working on a team. And you know, he's more ruthless and evil. So you know, you could do some fun Suicide Squad-y stuff with that,
and connected to the Green, so you could tell any of those stories if you want.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
when they remember the Green as a concept exists,
right? Anything that you want to do with the Green, you could pull from Floronic Man, and you get to make it twisted because it's him.
You know who else needs to be on this team? Remember ever so briefly when they had that teen Doomsday book? I think it lasted like 3 issues where they're like, oh, what if this kid became a Doomsday? I think Scott Lobdell wrote it, and it didn't last longer than 3 issues.
Yeah. No.
Like people eat up everything Doomsday related, but I love everyone's like, no, none of this. We say no.
Yeah, I agree. No, fuck him.
I think it came apart as like that Superman Doomsday story when Superman became Doomsday that everyone does.
Yeah.
What a dumb time in Superman history.
I don't get why people want to see that so bad. Like why they want characters to turn into their villains. Like,
it's weird.
Superman being Doomsday, they're like, oh, the Doomsday virus. And I'm like, that's so like, what? It's not even anything. I really wanted to put Heckler on this team, but I just forgot to do it. But Heckler didn't factor into my like created because they were trying to make a character that you would like it couched in an event starring characters you weren't buying. But it all falls apart anyway, so I don't care. Girk Pectus, by the way, says a cosmic level Suicide Squad where Waller-like being from the future recruits Mongol Sinestro to do good, or he'll erase them from time.
Ooh, that's kind of a fun concept too. Yeah, there's a lot of big cosmic. You got to put Lobo on that team too, because if you're doing cosmic, you need some comedy, and Lobo fits.
Right, and you got to have a character who's going to like throw a monkey wrench into your mix. Like,
totally.
Who's not going to try and take over. He's just going to be like kind of, I don't know, underestimated.
Actually, hey, you should resurrect Pretty Boy Lobo for your loser Suicide Squad team. Give him a new name, keep his new origin, and be like, yeah, I was Lobo for a bit, but my real name is Oblo. I guess.
Right?
What's Lobo spelled backwards?
Right? Oblo. Obel?
I'm Obel. Yeah, that's my real name.
Yeah, I was going to just call him the Zarnian, but all right.
That's fun, too, like the Mandalorian.
Exactly. Jimmy Jonathan Lee, crossover pitch. I'd love to see Suicide Squad and Thunderbolts interact, like Deadshot versus Zemo, Moonstone, Vandal Savage. Yeah. Scandal Savage? Yeah.
Yeah, such a shame we'll never get to see that story because the two companies don't play nice. If we can't even get Avengers versus Justice League, we'll never get Thunderbolts versus Suicide Squad.
No, it's really too bad. Chase Eichler, I feel like Axis would make this team. That's a great idea. I love Axis. I love the use of Axis, and I know that DC is quicker to use him than Marvel, certainly.
Someone in the chat also said Axel Asher. I'm like, oh yeah,
that is Axis. Yes.
There you go.
Mr. Abato formed a team involving the Ten-Eyed Man. I thought about using him for a second, and I thought, nah, don't care. And Girk Pectus, off topic, but I know you like Phalius. Did you hear they're making a Dingo Pictures documentary with Phalius? I can't wait to see what the fuck they're thinking behind the scenes. I have no idea. I haven't watched a video by him in like 4 or 5 years.
Sometimes they show up in my feed.
Right? Not anymore. I never see anything from Channel Awesome or the glory days thereof. Yeah, and what's my other? I had 2 characters from another event that literally nobody can buy because it's not collected in trade. Layla.
Ooh, okay.
Layla was a member of Legion. Legion, of course, standing for the Licensed Extragovernmental Interstellar Operatives Network. She got powers from being jabbed in the neck by an alien that looks suspiciously like a xenomorph while in space and being sexually harassed by Lobo. She is strong. She's a badass. She likes guns.
She has a mohawk, which means I'm a fan.
She's a bounty hunter and could be a lot of fun to use, especially if you remember that she exists.
Sold, and sold.
And finally, my last member is a character that's near and dear to my heart. I love this character so much, Razor Sharp.
Yay! Look at him.
I love Razor Sharp. She is the best. This is the first issue of Bloodlines I ever read, and with one of the only for a long time. She is a hacker from a team known as the Cyber Rats. she has T-1000 powers, but only in the arms and the legs, and that's it. They tried to bring her back. Superboy Prime murdered her, practically off panel in Infinite Crisis.
Oh no!
Along with all the other New Bloods, or Blood Pack, I should say. She also was resurrected during the oft forgotten, I think it was New 52 Bloodlines attempt. So there's a New 52 version of this character, and no one remembers that either.
Oh shit!
So, but I like her.
That's really solid, man. That gives me a cool idea too. Obviously, the Justice League has their Teen Titans. What if Waller started a junior branch of the Suicide Squad? My Teen Terrors, my my freaking Child Soldier program.
Yes, I think that's a great idea.
Who's on that team? Didn't Red Hood have a sidekick for a bit? Scarlet.
That sounds right. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, she's one because she's kind of an anti-heroic sidekick. Who else is on that team of
oh man,
shitty bad acting sidekicks?
Right.
Come on, Chad, help out with this one. You know better than us. I guess Tara should be on that team, because she's the original sidekick who broke bad.
Right. If it weren't for Tom King, I'd think maybe Supergirl, but.
Oh yeah.
Now she's 21 and not a Red Lantern. Yeah, there's a lot of sidekicks you could pull from. It's just a question of which ones are interesting. You could pick Kitten. Catman's Robin.
There you go. Yeah, there's one. Absolutely. Yeah. Who are some other more villainous sidekicks who are young people? Oh God, I like this. Yeah, you figure Teen Titans have got to have a bunch.
Yeah,
of villains their own age who they fought. Why am I drawing a blank on so many of these? Ooh, Hero the Toy Man.
Yes, of course.
Because he's more of a hero, but he has the name of a villain, so he gets press ganged into it anyway.
Yeah. Hey, look at that. Somebody mentioned Teen Tyrants was the name we pitched from Earth 3 Evil Teen Titans.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I like that. The Teen Tyrants.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned Bolt from the current Suicide Squad run.
Yeah, she's younger, and she's clearly related to the Reverse Flash in some way, but they haven't told that story yet.
Crush would be cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Crush. Yeah. Apparently they're getting all in on Crush.
Oh, yeah, we're going all in. She looks fun. I have no complaints about Crush. Kevin Kruger says, my team has Mr. Mind, Animal, Vegetable, Mineral Man, Chemo, Heatwave, Cupid, Betty Noir, and Dr. Cyber and Twister.
Someone remembered Cupid existed. Awesome.
Yeah. What was it?
Cupid could have been Lust, too, on my team as well.
Yeah.
She's all about lusting after a hero.
Totally.
But I wouldn't want to double up on Green Arrow villains, though.
No. Yeah. Clarion, the Demon Child.
That's an excellent one there, because he's a kid, but he's not really a kid, because he's an ancient eldritch being, but they lump him in with the kids anyway.
Right. Is Clarion what about Morgan Le Fay's son?
Oh, yeah. Does he exist in the universe?
I don't know. I think he does. Yeah, he does. I think he's in the... I think he's absolutely the villain in the formation of Young Justice.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So they didn't summon him from whole cloth.
Yeah. Or maybe he isn't. Maybe he's the... Now I'm trying to remember A World Without Grown-Ups, and I think that one had... I think it's just a douche, and he finds a genie.
Yeah.
The genie makes him powerful. So how about that one? The douche with the genie from World Without Grown-Ups.
Solid enough. Someone also said, hey, Zod has a kid. I'm like, yeah, but I don't think you're going to press gang him into servitude that easily.
No. Plus, he's great. Poor Sam Kent.
Unless he wants to do it to piss off his father. It's yeah, I'm going to join the Suicide Squad. Show you, Dad.
Yeah. Nailed it.
I mean, I guess if Connor Kent Superboy can be press ganged into joining the squad currently,
right?
Then they can press gang any Kryptonian into doing the deed.
Yeah. Right?
Guess that makes sense.
what was it? And Jimmy Jonathan Lee says Blizzaro Girl.
Oh, Bizarro Girl.
Bizarro Girl. Okay.
Right.
Inertia, Scarlet, Terror Teen 4.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about Inertia. Yeah, we need an evil speedster on there, and Inertia's a little older than Bolt. So yeah, Inertia's a good pick. I like that for our Teen Tyrants team.
Yeah. Jay has this really solid idea. This is completely off the beaten path, but he says, remember those DC Looney Tunes crossovers? I want to see a Looney Tunes Suicide Squad.
Okay, who's that? Well,
Yosemite Sam. Yeah, Sam.
He's the Deadshot.
Wile E. Coyote has to be there. Oh man, Tasmanian Devil.
Ooh, there's good. The red guy.
Oh yes, the monster. I don't remember what his
Gossamer.
name is. Gossamer. Thank you.
Gossamer. Gossamer's the muscle, definitely.
Right. Fudd, I guess.
I mean, but Yosemite Sam already has guns. You want to double up on their skills.
That's true. That's true. What about that Chicken Hawk from Foghorn Leghorn?
Yeah, I love the Chicken Hawk. Yeah, I'm the Chicken Hawk.
Yeah, a little douche. There you go.
I mean,
and Sylvester,
I guess. I mean, he's the one who can be redeemed, maybe. I mean, Foghorn Leghorn has to be the Waller, because I imagine him as like an old corrupt Southern sheriff. I'll say, boys, you're going to be doing black ops jobs for the government, boy.
I love it.
Get out there in the field. I'm going to blow your head up with this bomber stick.
God, I had one more. Who was it? Of course, because he's borderline rapist, Pepe Le Pew.
Oh, Pepe Le Pew. Why am I here in the prison? Oh,
what the hell?
Why. You know why. Oh.
Yeah. It wasn't so long ago. My antics were considered fun.
Yeah, really. Oh, popular culture really did a 180 on old Pepe.
I got cancelled. That's why I'm here.
Oh, but I deserve it, though. I'm really working on myself. I have found Jesus now.
There we go. Yeah, perfect. How weird. What a weird tangent this went.
Ooh, anarchy for the young Suicide Squad. Yes, big agree.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's still a teen or not, but
I don't think he is now. I think he's like a 20-something. But yeah, he used to be a kid. That used to be his gimmick. He was a kid who dressed up like an adult.
Right.
And she'd be all in Waller's face, be like, I hate this fascist institution that you've press ganged me into. And she's like, yeah.
I've heard it all before. The other character I just really wanted to see, but thankfully they've gotten the Renaissance. Like they're a character that you can see in a major selling comic book today. But it was a character that I was like, oh, wouldn't it be fun to see them on the Suicide Squad? Because like, again, I wanted to have like another really cool, like kind of like not uber powerful, but powerful enough female character. I went with Lady Clayface.
Yeah, she is having a bit of a renaissance. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, she's in Detective right now. So like,
yeah, you good part.
Yeah, and she's cool.
Very.
But Lady Clayface is one of those characters that people forgot about that like you never use, and it's like what an opportunity. That was my last one. So basically, yeah, I feel like with more time and effort, I could come up with like a team of characters that are literally just like they made us. And the gimmick of this would be that every arc, they would add a member from that world, like from the New Guardians or from the New Bloods. And,
fun.
And they would die, And people would be like, oh, hey, look, it's Edge. Cool. Welcome to the team. Oh, he died because all he can do is shoot hard, sharp blades out of his body. That sucks. Powers super sticker. Thank you very much, man. Thanks for that amazing sticker. I love it. And Mr. Roboto says, idea 10i teen Kid Grodd and Teen Bizarro.
Are those characters that exist? I mean, I know Teen Bizarro exists.
I think he's making them up.
Okay, but I was gonna say 10i Teen is actually a pretty solid name, and Kid Grodd feels like that should exist,
right? Our friend Chris from Comic Tropes dropped in to say, "What about gorilla-based villain? What other gorilla-based villains am I forgetting? Or for a gorilla team? Titano, Grodd, Mod Gorilla, Boss, Monsieur Mala. Who else?
I think you got them all.
Yeah, I mean, you could get Ultra Humanite. He kind of counts as a gorilla.
Sometimes he is. Sometimes he can be anything.
And the question is, like, do you want to go full gorilla or do you want to get some monkeys on there?
True enough.
Because I'm sure there's more. But thanks for dropping in, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Jam Call X says, but because they're teens, you wouldn't off them. Just threaten them with their worst fears, like getting their diary read or tased in the junk.
Oh, I like that a lot. Waller's like, well, you're not 18 yet, so I can't put bombs in you, Nag, but I have my ways.
Right.
I've got your internet search history that I'm going to put on your Facebook pages.
Right. Yeah. I will tweet your browser history. No.
I'm going to block you from Fortnite.
Yeah.
Yeah. The government gave me the power to do that. I'm surprised too.
Yeah. It's like they have no respect for you whatsoever.
Dumb Tish.
And Mr. Freeze 998, Curse of Brimstone was a good book from the Dark Knight era.
Oh yeah, that was the one that was kind of Ghost Rider, but not.
Yes, that's right.
Because all those books were kind of like blank, but not.
Yeah,
I wonder why they didn't last more than 2 years.
How weird. That was literally their approach. Like, well, every time the DC's like, here's a new thing, here's a new initiative, it's, let's just do this. Like, yeah, I was just going to say the New Guardians were like just another attempt, but like, I don't know what the hell that was supposed to be.
Neither do I. Oh, Detective Chimp, says our friend Comic Tropes there. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I thought about him, but I was like, would he belong on a Suicide Squad? I don't think so. I mean, if you're just thinking like ape-based teams, then absolutely, Bobo would run that team. He'd be like the Amanda Waller of that team.
You know, maybe Waller frames him. He gets in too deep on another film noir caper and ends up getting sent to jail. And he has to solve his own crime to get out there and prove his innocence.
I love that. Yeah. He's like, I let myself be captured so that I could get on the inside and figure it all out and put it together.
He's the one who brings down the squad in Task Force X.
Oh my God. That'd be completely okay with me.
That's a Black Label book right there.
Yeah, Bobo takes down the Suicide Squad. Detective Chimp versus Suicide Squad. That might sell.
It's always the last one you think, oh, and him and Wall are getting like a fist fight on top of the prison.
I would not get into a fist fight with an ape or with a chimp. It would rip my face off. And 343 Burning Legion says Snowflame, the supervillain powered by cocaine, is long overdue for a Suicide Squad run.
Big agree. You could have a whole drug-based team. You could have Snowflame for cocaine, Bane for steroids. Yep. I guess Ultraman's kind of cocaine because
I think so.
The kryptonite.
Well, but Snowflame is already cocaine, so like Ultraman become
We need crack and meth themed villains ASAP.
Yeah. You need meth and you need like ecstasy.
I mean, what is Reverse Flash if not just a massive speed freak?
This is true. Oh my God.
Why do you think I'm so fast and so angry all the time, Barry?
Shut up, Eobard. We hate you.
He's gone now.
Good.
Until he comes back.
He'll be back
in the new Flash run.
There's a gazillion of them. So.
Although I guess they're using Savitar now, which is the ultimate. We can't use Reverse Flash now, so we're using the other evil.
Yeah, use the other evil speedster. Yeah, we can. There's always has to be some evil speedster running around.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so there you have it, everybody. Those were our Suicide Squads. I'd read either of these books. Are you kidding me? They're ridiculous and fun. I just like the idea of like justice / putting a hat on characters that are forgotten, being like, don't forget you made these characters and do something with them for God's sake. And
I like that a lot. It's like this is your homework, comic company. You have to remember.
Exactly. Hey, Speedy's a heroin addict. Good point.
Oh, he is.
Chris.
He absolutely is. He's like, come on, I just like heroin. I don't represent heroin.
Yeah. What am I doing here? They all get blipped in. You're the heroin addict.
Oh.
No, I was on heroin, man. Oh,
come on.
Am I ever gonna let this down? No.
Bane in the background. Oh yeah, how does it feel to be defined by that thing that you do? I do other things, but people just remember me as the steroid guy.
Shut up, Bane.
Oh,
you're dead or something.
Or who cares?
Bane will be back. I can't believe they unceremoniously killed Bane like off screen.
Hey, you know what? Joshua Williamson is using Infinite Frontier to fix a ton of shit from the last era. I'm sure he'll fix Bane at some point, too.
I hope so. Man.
Maybe the Joker book will do it, because we have that, like, Bane's daughter character coming
Vengeance.
around. Oh, is that her full name?
That is her name. It's Vengeance. Who the hell was I talking to about that? But they basically... Oh, I remember now. I can't talk about it. Okay.
I like Vengeance's design. I think Vengeance is cool, where it's like, yeah, it's just a lady luchador.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And but they were like, there was some debate or discussion about what to call her.
Right.
And someone told them, Vengeance. And they're like, that's it.
I would have gone with Ruina for ruin.
Oh, I like that. Ruina.
Ruina, because it's kind of feminine at the same time, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's vengeance, because, Vengeance of Bane.
And because Dark Knight Vengeance and all the other good stuff there. It works.
Anyway, there you have it. Check out Suicide Squad, I guess. We didn't get any endorsement from them, so fuck them.
I wish we did. Squad, but, hey, James Gunn, I will take some of those Funkos. Those are good-looking Suicide Squad Funkos.
It's a really, all I want is a Starro figure now.
It's really cool looking, isn't it?
Oh, Kali says Arkham Knight and that one crazy Supergirl.
Oh, yeah.
Person.
Yeah.
Gotham Girl?
Gotham Girl, and also the one they're using on Lois and Superman right now, Laurel. They call her Laurel, but it's Laurel, the evil Golden Age Supergirl villain.
I see. Okay.
I like that. Yeah, a female Suicide Squad team of like all evil ladies.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Javon Green, the drug-based Suicide Squad don't have bombs in their necks. Waller just keeps up their habits.
She's just got a little baggie there, like, hey, you want to do a Black Ops mission? Yeah, I know you do. You get half now and half when it's done.
Oh, so exploitative. Awkward Mexican, a little off topic, but I love to see a blue and gold story where they have to solve murders going on throughout time, and they need Detective Chimp to help solve them. That's just fun to see them work together. I mean, I understand.
I mean, Jurgens is getting to do another blue and gold series, so you might get your wish.
That's right. We're getting a blue and gold book. And I think Kevin McGuire at least did another cover, if not working on it in some way. So you're almost got your favorite team back, except Giffen and DeMatteis are not on it.
Shame.
But anyway, thanks a lot for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week with another episode of the Elseworlds Exchange. If not, if this isn't enough for you, make sure to subscribe and watch everything else we make here on ComicPop Returns. Check out Joel for more Cape Joel goodness on youtube.com/Cape Joel. And of course, be sure to remain subscribed to ComicPop Prime on youtube.com/ComicPop. We do appreciate everything you do. Thank you so much to our super chatters for sponsoring this episode. And we'll see you guys next time. That's it. So long, everybody.
Bye-bye.